So, hello and welcome to Money Come to Me class. This is going to be 7-day adventure where we're going to clear, activate, and increase our energy flows. And as well, there's probably going to be some things that's going to come up as we go along. Because when I do these multi-day classes, I never really know where it's going to take. And the idea for this class came because the world is rapidly changing. The lives that we had a year ago or 2 years or 3 years ago, it's not there. Even the world is completely different. And what usually happens is over the past hundreds of years, life has been going like fairly slowly for people. And so there was never really need to like work with energies to actually, how to say, it's basically like that. The over the past 10, I would say 10 years, life on Earth has sped up. And we can't live really like we did hundreds of years ago when everything was slow and changes were coming very slowly, and we kind of had the time to adapt and to the new stuff. But these days, life is moving so fast, energies are changing so fast that it's almost like if you stand still for at least a day, it's almost like it feels like life has gone like 10 miles in front of you. And so this class is really about not just about the money. It's not just about increasing your money flows. It's just basically creating so much energy, changing stale energy that has been stagnating for a while, that we kind of thought, oh, maybe I should move it, maybe I don't have to move it. And it's time to actually move. And I think it requires time as well and energy to actually move into the new life with money. Like if you follow like financial news, we are in the space where everything is there's so much uncertainty, there is so much unknown, and we don't really know what the future is going to hold. Like 10 years ago we kind of knew, but we kind of could guess, we kind of could prepare for it, but these days it's just impossible. And so we basically need to learn to become aware of our own finances, of our own money. We have to be kind of on top of them. We have to constantly notice where something is changing, when something we need to add or change. And as I work with energy tools, I work mainly with light language. Then this is my go-to tool when I'm actually want to change something. And there are so many tools out there. There's so many things you can use these days to actually change your financial reality, and not just financial reality. And I use light language because it's easy for me and it's easy to change things for me. And that's why I wanted to have this class in the same format like I do my regular, like 1 hour classes. But this I wanted to be 7 days because we need to practice. We need to we can't create like, for example, I used example, like, for example, when Dr. Frankenstein was creating his monster, he basically put together different body parts, but because the body parts were dead, they weren't, just because you put them together doesn't mean it's going to come alive. So he basically needed enough energy, enough power to actually almost like infuse into this dead body for it to come alive. And the same is with the things in our lives. When something has become stale or stable, or things that we haven't moved for a while, things we haven't changed for a while or never changed, they need certain amount of energy to actually get them moving. And sometimes I kind of it is in a sense possible to change few things with 1 hour call, because every time you receive a light language transmission that you can listen over and over again and actually change stuff. But not everyone is actually doing that. They just listen to class, something maybe changed, maybe I don't know, and then they just a week later they realize they haven't listened it again, or they just forget about it, and later they just think, oh, that thing, does it actually work? Oh, I don't know. But we never really actually truly use those tools to actually see how it can change. Like, for example, I think about a week ago, I did I sometimes do like recordings just for myself. I noticed something that is quite not working in my life, so I kind of do the recording of light language, and then I listened over and over again. I put it at night on very low volume. I listened the whole day while washing dishes, like going around. I listened to it while in the car. And then a few days later, I started to notice that things are changing. And that is kind of proof for myself that these things work. And that's why I wanted to do this as a 7-day. We're going to use light language every day. At the end of the day, you're going to get recording and you can listen during the day. I'm doing the classes in evenings, even though I would think that these tools better work if we do them in the morning. But these exercises are very simple. You can do them in the morning, but it's, for me, it's easier to actually do class in the evening. And but I am doing, for the past 2 days, I've been doing the exercises in the morning. And just like a little, like a housekeeping, like when we do energy work, if you are new, it will be valuable for you. But if you're not new, it might be good for you to kind of remind to yourself that when we start to do energy work, we actually not only the thing that we are working on is changing, but we are receiving awareness as well about that thing. Like how, for example, that works. I've been last night I remembered that I know how to do neurographics. I don't know. No, I'm just going to show you what it looks like and you can see it. So this is my neurographic I did last night. And I did it as well on the money. Because this class is about money, I want to get more awareness. And just by doing this neurographic, I get more awareness of the things that are kind of percolating in the air. And then they kind of match with the information that I did over the weekend. I did Akashic reading for myself. And there I got some information about my personal money situation and actually about the global situation as well, in quite interestingly. And so I did the neurographic last night, and it kind of matched the information I got from Akashic records. And then I remembered things I've done, like last year in the winter, I did a class about there is no money. So these things are kind of starting to come up into my awareness as we start to work. And sometimes even things that we don't want to happen starts to come up. Like, for example, we receive like a bill or invoice that we've forgotten about for years, and suddenly they start to come up. It's basically because you started to kind of work this topic, these things starts to come up. They just starts to come up to the surface, things that you buried. And it's a good thing, even though it doesn't feel like that. Because I have had moments when, like for example, last week I realized that I used to live in UK, and I used to have a bank with Barclays, but I occasionally used it for certain payments when with UK, and they actually closed my account. And I wanted to kind of sort this out for quite some time because I didn't really have a need for that, but they just it created a little bit nuisance for me. But these things start to come up as I actually start to work, because things that I haven't sorted out, things are kind of sometimes starts to break down, and so in a sense, like the universe starts to give us these exercises to work, like for example with money, or if you work with your relationship, it starts to bring up this stuff that we have buried, and that's a normal process of any development, of any whether that's personal development, spiritual development, whatever development you require. So I kind of mentioned that and these classes are going to be 30 minutes long, but we'll see, because I'm when I start to talk, I have to say everything, and it usually turns into 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and even up to an hour. So, and just bear with me. And how we gonna work? We're gonna do at the beginning of each day, I'm gonna actually do a little bit talk, like on a topic around money. And then we're gonna do like an exercise that you can easily do in the morning, even just wake up and sit up in the bed so you don't fall asleep again, and then you can start the day. And then then you're gonna have light language recordings that's gonna clear all the energies that whatever topic is of the day. But the initial intent is to increase and activate our money flows, and to clear all the blocks that we have about our money flows and about the money. And before we actually get into the topic, I actually want to do like an extra light language recording, and it's to clear everything that we expect, all the expectations and projections we have about this class, about me. So you would actually, because when expectations is basically things that we expect, and if it doesn't happen, it actually, we kind of feel disappointed. But what if what you get is even much greater than you expected? And so we're gonna clear that. We're gonna clear all the decisions you have made about me, because if you are attending my class and you are something about me, something against me, you actually have difficulty to receiving from me, even if I'm actually giving you something that you really require at the time. It's actually going to stand in your way to actually receive completely. And as well, all the places where we are actually not willing to change our money situation, we just think we want to have, and as well all the expectations, how we want it to happen. What if it can happen greater than we expected? So, and how light language works, I work with my hands and my body, and I use my voice, and it sounds like gibberish if you hear it first time. And what you need to do, you just basically sit somewhere comfortably, relax, close your eyes, and basically allow the energies kind of come and go and transform whatever. You can basically almost like absorb them like a sponge. And if you feel like you have some walls coming up, just try to lower them. Just imagine like walls are coming down. Because sometimes when we want to start to change something, walls automatically start to come up because we think something dangerous is happening to us. So you just have to be aware of all these things with your body. And so let's do the first light language. It's going to be fairly short, and let's see what we can change with it. Just close your eyes. Ahana hana sena na vashta sheshta. Sehena hana halahasha shohota. Elehene mihala hamanashata vehana mahata shena masata. Ereheme hema hana mavalahasa sesata hota. Semehene miharaham halahasha shevata hamanasa vasata. Elehene miharahana maneshta perahana mananeshta veshta pasata. Elehene mihala nohana doshata roha shashata. Elehene mihana mahala vasasesata mahata. Amahana mihana mohara roshata. Sene mahana vasesata parahana shasheta. Semehene mihara hala vanashata perasat. Elehene mihala vasana mihana nosata vasata. Sumona manahava tora sanoshata. Sumora hana horonoshata vasata. Depe mahana malahava sasesata. Lehene mahana vesheshata. Elehene miharahana shasheta. Allahana mihana vashata sheta. Elehene miharahana shasheshata. Allahana miharahana shasheshata. Elehene mihalavana manashata pova samohata. Semiha mahamasa seva samasana mesa. Semihana vasana mihana vashata vashata. Alhamahana vihana mahasasheta. Semihana maharavana naneshata vasata heta. Elehene mihana vahana mihasa. Yahana manosata roshata. Semihana hana manashata sheta. Elehene miharahana shasheshata. Elehene mihana mahana vasata. Debiha mahana vasesana mahadeshes. Sohama hovata mosata. Somahana wasana mosata. Somahana wasana mosata. Somahana wasana mosata. Debiha mahana maneshat. Dehilahana shevahas. Elehene mihana hashashat. Debihana mahana veshat. Erehana mahana veshat. Allahana mihana washat veshat. Ehe mahana masavasat. Ehe namahana manavasasat. Ehe manamahana vasamasat. Erehana mahana vahamanamasat. Erehana mahana veshatapasat. Ehe mahana mashasheta. Elehene mihana vasashasheta. Elehene mihana mahashasheta. Elehene mihana vasashasheta. Sesheshashashota. Namohana washat. Namohana washat. Namohana washat. Namohana washat. Okay, so you can open your eyes now. So this is a light language. If you hear it for the first time, that's my light language. Every practitioner who does light language does it differently.